amazing team at Atlas Corps that I'm blessed to work with, and I get outsized credit for the work of Atlas Corps and for the work of our fellows. But we have an amazing board, we have an amazing team, we have amazing partners and supporters, and don't we have amazing fellows?
Yes.
I'd like to also say thank you to Assistant Secretary Evan Ryan, to Shannon Green. Thank you, Andy, for moderating such a great panel. It's wonderful to be in this room again and to be back at State Department. I could not be more proud how far Atlas Corps has come. 10 years ago, as Abby mentioned, I did work with the U.S. Department of State. I served in the U.S. Embassy in India, helping coordinate the U.S. government's efforts to fight human trafficking. It was a G-tip position. I think now it's called a J-tip. In fact, I became quite good at State Department acronyms. I know what it means when a full officer is at the Marine Bar because AMBO is wheels up. Like I'm all about acronyms at State Department. It's gotten me very far in life, so that's good. While in India, I helped coordinate a 3-week anti-trafficking program to bring human trafficking leaders from India, anti-human trafficking leaders from India, to serve in the United States, to learn from organizations, and then to go back home. And when they came back to India, I had this aha moment when they came back and told me about their experiences. It's what an amazing opportunity for them to learn in the U.S. for 3 weeks. But how more amazing would it be if they could come to the United States for a longer period of time so people in the U.S. could learn even more from them? You know, I looked at the consular section and I saw thousands of people go in for work visas in India to the United States, to go to Microsoft, to invent Hotmail. I saw thousands of students coming to learning universities to gain knowledge and to come back home. But the idea of a nonprofit leader, an NGO leader, going to serve in the United States on a long-term professional exchange just wasn't happening. I witnessed what Thomas Friedman called the world is flat, this incredible phenomenon that people are competing across borders. And while it was so true in the academic sector and the private sector, even in the athletic sector, the idea of the world being flat in the nonprofit sector is not what I saw from where I was standing in India. You know, for 50 years or so, Americans have gone to serve abroad through the U.S. Peace Corps. But the idea of Indians going to volunteer nonprofits here, people from Nicaragua or China coming here, just really wasn't happening. And what I saw in my experiences in India and Bosnia and other places that I served, as Ernesto pointed out, is that there's talent all over the world. Smart, passionate people want to make the world a better place. They have the skills, they have the passion, they have the ideas, and they want to use that ideas and skills and passion to address social issues in their countries. All around the world, talent is universally distributed. But opportunity is not. As a white middle-class kid from Delaware, especially as a white male middle-class kid from Delaware, I had so many opportunities to serve abroad. As a teenager, I went to Bosnia in the 90s to work on peace issues. I've been so blessed with a passport that came with my birth, and I recognize that. Opportunity in the world is not universally distributed, but even though talent is. And there was something that we could do about it. Visa restrictions and financial barriers limited the ability for people to go from India to the United States, to go from the Palestinian territories to Chicago. These barriers, this market failure existed in the system that needed a solution, that was calling out for a solution. You know, I'm proud as an American citizen, as a former U.S. diplomat, for the 50-plus years of Americans who have served abroad, but I thought I was missing half of the equation. That the one-way flow of exchange didn't make sense. If it made sense 50 years ago, and it probably didn't, it certainly doesn't make sense anymore. So I decided to launch what I initially called as a reverse Peace Corps. I described it as a friend of mine in India as a reverse Peace Corps, and he said to me, "I like your idea, but why are you against peace?" We decided reverse Peace Corps was not the best title. The domain name was taken, apparently. So we went with Atlas Corps instead. You know, in fact, I think Atlas Corps has an incredible ability, incredible potential to be a strong force for peace in the world. You know, one thing that I learned in my time in State Department was how incredibly well-networked criminals were. It's a scary thought, but it's true. And you see it in the anti-trafficking space. And you see it in the drugs and gun space. That, you know, people in the Middle East were learning about suicide bombs from folks in Sri Lanka. The FARC in Colombia were raising money from criminals in Europe. Terrorists and criminals are sadly extremely well networked in the world. Well, shouldn't it be the case that the heroes of the world, those who are most talented and most passionate addressing social issues, they should be at least as well networked as the terrorists, at least as well networked as the criminals. That the heroes of the world who truly can bend the arc of history towards greater social justice, those you see in these front rows here at State Department today, the Atlas Corps Fellows, they need to be at least as well networked as well. Civil society leaders, diplomats, all of us need to break out of those silos that contain us, be it the social issues that we address or the countries that we are from. We need to find more effective ways to cross borders to address these social issues together. So we launched Atlas Corps. Among our first organizations to sign up was the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children. And at the time it was led by former U.S. Ambassador Maura Hardy, who some of the diplomats will know in the room. When Ambassador Hardy was the Assistant Secretary for Consular Affairs, she taught many people at State Department her leadership lessons. And when she took her first Atlas Corps Fellow, a woman named Asmita Satarthi from India, to come and serve at the International Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Maura learned from Asmita, and Asmita learned from Maura, and together they addressed such a horrible issue of missing and exploited children. Asmita, by the way, is not the only leader in her family. Just a few months ago, her father won the Nobel Peace Prize with Malala. So apparently it runs in the family, her ability to have great social change in the world. We're proud of Asmita and her father. I have no doubt that future Atlas Corps Fellows will not just be children of Nobel Peace Prize winners, perhaps Nobel Peace Prize winners themselves. In September, another Peace Prize winner endorsed our program when President Obama stood up in New York on stage with President Clinton to announce the Stand with Civil Society agenda. And as part of that commitment to civil society, to bring 100 emerging global leaders, Atlas Corps Fellows, to the United States. We are so excited, as we call them, EGLI-Atlas Corps Fellows. This is a public-private partnership. Our State Department is helping us recruit candidates, provide special funding for fellows from some countries like Pakistan, Sudan, South Sudan, Bangladesh, and many others. And Atlas Corps is bringing our proven leadership development program and outside funders, such as American Express or partners like Deloitte. Today, we celebrate the launch of this new fellowship. Congratulations to our new fellows. The 20th century tools of short-term exchange and academic exchanges need to be complemented with long-term professional exchange, especially for civil society leaders. We're proud that Atlas Corps can be another tool in the toolbox for diplomats and embassies and missions abroad to stand with civil society. Embassies and consulates are no longer limited to IVLPs or Fulbright fellowships. Atlas Corps can complement successful programs like the EGLI Initiative. We're proud to partnership with State Department and together to stand with civil society. For this I know to be true. No matter what side of the visa window you've stood on your life, whether it's to apply to be a visa or to give out the visa, no matter what side, we all want a better world. We all know that in today's world there are far too many critical social issues and not enough people addressing them, and not enough people addressing them together. We know the solution, the challenges that we face cannot be solved by the same old ways we've been addressing them for decades past. And that we, together millennials, and those supporting millennials, need to come up with new creative solutions. Because the world's not getting better, and certainly not getting better fast enough. Whether it's terrorists in Nigeria or terrorism in Pakistan or even in Paris, we need to find ways to cross borders and address social issues together. Whether it's violence in Chicago or homelessness in DC, whether it's supporting youth leaders in Mexico or supporting LGBT rights in China, we all need to stand with civil society. To stand with Asmita, Prem, Pony, Ernesto, Grace, all the fellows in the room here, the nearly 300 leaders from nearly 70 countries, not 700, 70 countries, who call themselves Atlas Corps Fellows, and we are just getting started. 10 years ago, I left the Department of State to start a new organization to stand with civil society, and I cannot be more proud to stand here at State Department today, to serve with common purpose, with a common mission and a common vision to develop leaders, to strengthen organizations through long-term professional exchange. Thank you, all of you. I would like to name many individuals in the room who have done so much to make this happen. But rather, I'll just say thank all of you for what you have done and what you continue to do to empower these fellows, which is why we do what we do at Atlas Corps. Together, let us achieve the potential of tomorrow that today's partnership brings. Or as Prem so eloquently said, let's not be afraid to dream, to do, and to do together. Thank you very much.